So cheating respectfully to me is cheating where I don't find out.
Huh? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you want to wait until the end, fill out the vibe first, I'm down with that. No pressure. Go ahead and do that. If you've been here already, you know the vibes, you know it's good shit over here. Thank you for coming back. So you see this title, so you know what we're about to talk about. We're about to get into it. It's about to get real. So just go ahead, get comfy, and let's just get straight into it. So today we're gonna be talking about, obviously, why Gen Z, why dating in this generation, in this time, in 2021, why it sucks and all that stuff, alright? Personally, honestly, I haven't been doing a lot of dating. This is gonna be coming from a lot of what I'm seeing and like other people's perspectives, like my friends and like that. Not that I'm anti-dating right now, but my love life is like a mixture of complicated and non-existent. So there's not really much to dive into, honestly. Also, just to put this out there, this is going to be from a heteronormative perspective, just because that's the experience I've had so far. So this is what we're talking about, but some of these points are still going to be general and apply to other people. So I feel like to start off, I want to say that something that I really hate hearing is like, oh, I wish I was born in like another generation, or people in the past had it right, like this generation sucks at dating, the past, like they're all good at it, stuff like that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves for many reasons, because first of all, I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince myself that they necessarily always married out of pure love and that they are the best at love and they know exactly how to do it and all that stuff. For many reasons, like back in the day, marriage was basically an obligation. There wasn't really another choice. You couldn't not, be married. The expectation was that you would get married, start a family, raise the home and send your kids out to work at the age of 17, blah, 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 etc., etc. There wasn't really this freedom that we have now in 2021 in this generation to be like, no, maybe I want to be single forever, blah, blah, blah. So that's like the main point. And then off of that, because of that expectation to be married and to have families, there was more tolerance. They put up with more, even when they didn't necessarily do it because they love that person so much and so dearly. It's more socially acceptable for me to stay in this marriage rather than to divorce and like go be on my own. Especially for women too. Due to the stigma around divorcing, it was way more socially acceptable to stay in the relationship. So of course, couples that were married in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s are gonna be here now talking about, oh, we did it right. We went through everything. We went through hell and back, or I stood through everything. Sure, my man cheated on me 70 times, but for the sake of the family, like, back in the old generations, bro, those women was getting beat. There wasn't food on the table when Michael came home from work. Teresa was probably gonna get a beating, alright? We've seen this in history. We know this is what was kind of that, like, the norm. Like, it was okay, housewives, all that stuff. It's a different time period, so obviously we're going through different stuff. So I just want to start off saying that I hate when people make that comparison, because it's really based off of no type of hard or reliable evidence. So now to start to focus on our generation and our actual problems. I'd say a big thing is men have an expectation of what they think women should act like, and women also have an expectation of what men should act like, which makes them act a certain way and vice versa. And then it just creates this endless cycle of, oh, well, I'm the man, I have to be the provider. I'm the woman, he should be opening doors for me. He needs to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of those ideas that end up making us kind of change who we really are, or just how we appear to be, just so that we can be in these relationships. And it's honestly, which ties into my next point, like a false reality in a way. Like, I feel like a lot of dating nowadays is an illusion. Social media, and I'm not here to shit on social media because, I'm on it, I use it, it's fun, it's entertaining every now and then, blah, blah, blah. But I definitely do not rely heavily on it, and I know there are many people in our generation who are quite literally obsessed with social media and base their entire real life realities on what they're seeing on the internet. So obviously social media, what you see on there, it's always the good parts, and the bad stuff is hidden, which obviously with good reason. I mean, I don't expect to go on Instagram or Twitter and see you posting, oh, just had a fight. Granted, everyone used to be doing that back in middle school, but which was awkward. That's how, but that's the point exactly. Like, no one wants to see that. You post the good stuff, you post the vacations, you post the little dates you go on, but no one's really seeing the backstory or like the fight that you had right before you took that picture, you know what I'm saying? And that is the type of stuff that makes people want to get this unobtainable, unreal relationship. A relationship is not just the good pictures, it's the good and the bad, yes, but I think our generation just struggles to realize that it's not going to be perfect. and they're trying to mimic a false perfection. There's no such thing as perfection, we know this, which ties into like beauty standards and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna answer that today. Obviously that's another video, it's a whole another topic. But it's a false perfection that doesn't even exist in the first place that we're trying to mimic in real life, which makes everything very messy and just a whole lot of fakeness. And I think a lot of people try to resemble what they see online in real life in their relationships, which is very unhealthy. Everybody already as an individual is completely different from the next person. So how could every relationship have the same exact vibe? Like, people are going for the same relationship type, you know, on social media. Like the couple that, like I'm saying, like that goes on vacations together, that does all these things, and maybe that's just not your vibe. Maybe that's not what you even want to do. Or even if like it's not that specific type of, like, I think I'm imagining like a typical celebrity relationship, I guess, where there's a lot of travel involved and a lot of like, you know, dates and all that stuff, which is good. And like some people really want that, but a lot of people aren't going for that, and then they try to mimic that. But like, if that's not in your means, it's not in your means, and that's fine. Or even if it's like other relationships that like are more your vibe, maybe you're, I don't know, there's different freaking aesthetics and shit, but like maybe your vibe is like more on the, okay, I guess, yeah, maybe like the aesthetic-y type, and like you want to go on picnics and stuff like that, what else, blah blah blah. That's fine, but I think it's still the whole idolizing relationships, again, that are on social media and that we're not seeing the full picture of. Stuff like relationship goals, I've always had an issue with ever. One thing about me, you're never gonna see me look at a famous couple and call them relationship goals, because what exactly is the goals part? Like, the only thing that's relationship goals to me is if I see a couple that's open and honest about like the real stuff. I still won't even say it, because you really can never know what's going on behind the camera, so I'm not gonna say it. But like, if it's like a really authentic, like, yeah, we fight, yeah, we argue, like, we're not perfect, guys, don't try to be like us, that's a relationship that I respect. But if it's like a
look at us, we're so perfect, we do everything together, oh my god, we're tied at the hip,
that's not goals to me, okay? Along with the trying to emulate relationships that we're seeing like online and stuff, a big thing that I've been seeing is, I think I mentioned trips a lot, and the reason why is because I'm seeing that a lot, and I definitely understand it. But again, also with what I said with the, if it's not in your means, it's not in your means, I feel like at 18 nowadays, or 19, this is, again, just speaking in general, this does not need to apply to every single man out there, but I feel like a lot of men are out there thinking that they have to be like the full providers for women. And I know that's a lot of people's like personal values and morals and stuff like that, but I don't see it that way at all. And especially at our age, like, I'm 20 years old. I do not expect someone else who's 20 years old to be financially funding my life, you know what I mean? And the trips, like, trips are not cheap. I don't want someone to feel like they have to break their back working extra shifts just so that they can take me to the Caribbean. For what? We are 20, like, enjoy your youth. Like, I know, travel, do all that stuff, again, if it's in your means. You do not need to be doing all that to impress someone. I think a lot of relationships are becoming more for show at this point than for the actual like content. Like, is there actually substance in the relationship, or is it just so you can take the pictures and post on Instagram? And this is a point I was gonna make later, but I feel like since I'm already here, I might as well say it. I think a lot of relationships are becoming very fraudulent, honestly, and it's more for show than it is about what is actually benefiting you. It's for the look, it's for being able to say, yeah, I'm in a happy relationship, yeah, I'm being flown out every week, I'm going to Dubai next week with my girl, blah blah. And I don't think we need to be doing all that. We are all in school, or not all, shit, I'm not about to be next year, but again, that's another video. But we're young adults, we're trying to make it out, we're either like trying to move out right now, or, you know, just saving up for cars, buying cars, paying insurance, all that stuff. Like, where are y'all getting the money to be taking these trips in the first place? I mean, please let me know so I can go ahead and hop on the wave, because I'm trying to be out too. I'm not trying to throw no shade or hate, but it's just confusing. And I think it's only a problem when, like I said, you're breaking your back to try to impress or something like that. And I think that's what a lot of this generation is trying to do. It's impress other people and then the person that they're in a relationship with. But again, if you were in a relationship that was truly based off of substance and real love, why would you need to impress them by taking them on a trip? Like, you know what I mean? All right, so another point, now that I'm saying this, I'm not too sure exactly if I agree 100%. All right, just hear me out. So I was gonna say, I think our generation is becoming a little bit too comfortable with cheating, and we're really accepting it more. But I honestly don't know if it's more than it used to be tolerated, like in the past. Because like I was saying, a lot of those relationships that we talk about when we're looking at like our parents' generations and how, you know, they've been together for like 20 plus years, blah blah blah. we look at that and we're like, oh, well, that's because it was based off of true love and they were doing it right. But again, like I did say, and like I really truly agree, a lot of that was because people just tolerated more and they just didn't really have another choice. So of course cheating was probably a big thing back in the past too. I mean, shit, I feel like that's something that's just been a part of human culture forever, so I can't really say that it's worse now, but I can say that I think it is being normalized more, and I guess accepted, or like, I don't know, romanticized, I think might be the word for it, because I've never actually, no, because matter of fact, I was on Instagram a couple weeks ago or something, and I saw this video, and if I can find it, and hopefully if it's not like a copyright thing, or even if it is, whatever, I'll try to include it in here, because bro, when I tell you I was literally mind blown, I was like, there's just simply no way.
To be honest, I believe in cheating respectfully. I never tell my man like, oh, you can go cheat on me.
So cheating respectfully to me is cheating where I don't find out, is having control over your other women, is using condoms and not having babies. Like, cheat respectfully, because believe it or not, your man is cheating. But I'm not leaving my man over a one-night stand with a bitch, period.
Huh? When I tell you my jaw dropped and I was genuinely shocked, I was like, wow. I was like, yo, our standards they're non-existent at this point. Like, we're accepting the bare minimum. Like, I didn't think we were really down this bad, to the point where cheating is okay, you know, it's fine. Fidelity is such a stretch and like a far-fetched idea that like I'm not even gonna put that on my list of requirements. It's just, I mean, if you're faithful, I guess, like, it's cool or whatever, I'll take it, but it's definitely not a requirement anymore. Like, now granted, she doesn't speak for everyone, and that's not even Gen Z. I'm pretty sure she was like 20 something or whatever. So, well, actually, I don't know the Gen, okay, whatever, millennial, Gen Z, you know the vibe, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I was just like, that's crazy to me, because I could never, I've talked about this on my channel multiple times before, and I will say, you'll continue to hear me say this over and over again, I'm never taking back a cheater, bro, because the disrespect. Why are we in a relationship? If you want to open a relationship, that's one thing. If you want to be open, say that. If you want to talk to other people and we're just dating, because that's another thing too, this generation doesn't know the difference between dating and vibing. I digress. So yeah, that's one thing, but you cannot be in a relationship, one-on-one person, and you just say, yeah, you can cheat or whatever. Like, that's not, what do you mean you can cheat? If you don't want to be committed to me, then be single. Say like, this is a fling thing, I'm just here for a one-time thing, or, you know, like fuck buddy or something like that. I don't know, but you can't sit there and tell me that we're in a relationship and you're gonna just go cheat on me and I'm gonna accept that and be like, well, it's fine, he knows where home is. Like, oh, you gotta be shitting me. Me could never. It's not gonna be me. I'm so sorry. And if that's you, I really feel like, unless that's again something that you guys both sat down and said, all right, we're gonna both mess with other people, whatever, or I don't know, I guess if you're into that thing where your partner can do whatever they want to do but you have to be faithful to them, it's a little sus to me, but I'm not here to judge. I just want to make sure that people are on the same page here, which ties into my next point. I think a lot of people in this generation are going into relationships not setting their expectations or their wants early on in the relationship, which causes a lot of conflict or issues later on. Be honest from the jump. You know, that's all I can say. You have to communicate that straightforward. It might seem like you're being too forward or you're being too blah, 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 but like, if you're going in looking for a relationship, it's better to know early on if that person's also looking for a relationship or not. And you know, a thing with that too, though, I will say, I know a lot of people will lie. I'm gonna say guys too, just because from my perspective as a woman and from what I've seen, again, like what I've seen with like people close to me and stuff like that, a lot of the guys will be like, no, yeah, I am down, I'm looking for a relationship for real, I'm trying to be serious. But then once, you know, they get what they want, all of a sudden it's,
you know, I'm actually not ready. You know, I thought about it some more and I realized I don't really want this, you know, it's just, I'm not in the right space, blah, blah.
And the thing is, they probably aren't in the right space. But why did you tell me you were 2 months ago just for you to now tell me you're not? Say what you want early on, okay? You need to be like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for like something serious? Are you looking to just talk? And if you just want to talk and you just want to just see where it goes, or you're not sure, blah, that's perfectly fine. As long as both of you are on the same page. It's never gonna work if person A is looking for a relationship and person B is not looking for that whatsoever. But person A is like, maybe I can change person B and then they'll want to like love me or whatever. Person B is in there like, you know, maybe I know they want a relationship, but maybe they'll also catch on to my vibe and then we'll just be vibing. But no, like, you're wasting your time. Ooh, pet peeve, wasting my time. I'm not gonna get my time wasted. And I'd feel even more mad if I did it to myself. If I go into something and I know that I did not say what I had to say in the beginning, I'm gonna be mad at myself. I can't blame you. I can't be mad at you. Especially if you said what you wanted. If you told me straight up that you want to just vibe and I go ahead and I do that to myself, I have no right to be mad at you. Sure, I'm gonna be hurt, but again, I'll be hurt at myself because at the end of the day, I know I did that to me. Alright, so this one, I just rushed upon it when I said the whole I'm not in the right state, blah, blah, blah. That is the next point, which is a lot of people are not in the right states to be in relationships. A lot of people have like a genuine fear of being single and sitting with their thoughts and learning who they are as individuals, which is a little scary, and I see plays into a whole nother part of Gen Z's issues in general, like with just existing, like coexisting with each other. It's all about kind of ignoring the self and just trying to fit in with the majority, and I think that's, like I said, very scary. All right, now COVID, we've seen many times, people have said this before, like it was really a bittersweet thing. I think this was the closest to like best opportunity we'll get for a while to really be isolated on our own and to really have the time to think and analyze. Personally, I really took this last year and yo, and that's the thing, I get why people don't want to do this because it's very painful and scary, but it's so necessary, yo. I took this whole past year and a half going on, year and a half. What time did we get? February, we're in, okay, maybe a year and a couple months, whatever it's been, since, like, you know, we've been in like what's it called, lockdown or whatever. I took the time and I did a lot of self-reflecting. I did a lot of figuring out who I am, and I'm still not done, which is why also you don't see me in a relationship, because I know there's a lot of things that I've found out about myself that are inhibiting me from being able to be in a relationship at the moment, okay? Now don't go ahead and start talking shit if I end up with someone in the next couple months, because, okay, you know, everyone's timing is different, but as of right now, whatever date this is, May 24th, whatever, I know there's a lot of shit that I can still keep working on before I'm ready to be in a committed relationship, okay? And I think that's most of our generation, which is fair. We're all going through stuff. We're all depressed. We're all going through shit. It's a tough ass time. Like, we're going through isolation. It's hard, blah, blah. But, like, again, this is the time to really sit there and think about, okay, well, let me start to know, like, who am I as a person? And a lot of people don't know who they are. And a lot of people get into relationships with other people who don't know who they are. So then they're both going off of whatever they're seeing other people are doing, and then they're trying to make it work, like, basically as two imposters. And again, back to what I said in the beginning, it's just a lot of fraudulence and it's not a lot of authenticity. A lot of people are in relationships right now that don't make sense, or like they have specific issues that just aren't workable in relationships. All right, everyone has their own thing. Everyone has their baggage. I also don't think you have to be 100%, like, you're never gonna be a perfect human. You're always gonna have things that you can work on. So I'm not gonna say you have to be like a perfect person before you can get into a relationship. But one thing I will say is I do now fully agree that you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. But again, there are also certain things that you can work with in a relationship, but there are some things that cannot go into a new relationship, okay? Like, if you have jealousy issues and that comes from being hurt in your past or something like that, you got cheated on, why would you think you can get into another healthy relationship now when you know that you don't have it in yourself to trust another person fully, to like really trust someone with your heart, and you know that whole time in the relationship you're just gonna be,
oh, let me check your phone, let me see who you're talking to, I don't like you going out with people, blah, blah.
That's not healthy, and that's setting up such a terrible, toxic, unhealthy ass relationship. It's not gonna be beneficial for anyone. The whole time you're gonna be doing that, they're gonna get annoyed, and that's just gonna be like, it's not gonna be good. Or regardless of whatever trait it is that you have that doesn't work, like whether it's emotional unavailability, which I'm gonna get into this later, is a lot of the time mostly the men, but it's definitely the women too a lot of the time. Like, it's really, it goes both ways. It can be applied to anyone, okay? Everyone has their own issues, but again, specific ones need to be dealt with personally before you try to bring that onto someone else, because now you're taking your trauma, you're passing that on to someone else who does not deserve that. You're traumatizing them, and then that person's gonna go bring that same shit to someone else, and then the cycle never ends. And I think that's what's happening exactly right now in our generation, which is why, again, the point of this video, a lot of these relationships are not working. So off of that, I'd say like two very, very basic and general, like very general, does not apply to all men, does not apply to all women, but issues that I see, and again, this is based off of heteronormative, like, relationships. A lot of men in our generation were raised to be very emotionally unavailable. They were taught not to be in tune with their emotions. They don't know how to feel, or they don't know how to really put names to what they're feeling, or they're just very closed off. And then a lot of women, on the other hand, are really good with emotions or feelings, and then they are very manipulative with that, and then they'll take advantage of a guy opening up and giving their feelings, and then they'll either belittle them for them, or just make them feel bad about it, or just shame them for them, or throw it back at them, which is one of the worst things you can do to anyone who is just learning how to open up. Do y'all realize how fucked up that is? Like for real, like, look at me right now, like, do you know how messed up that is? Like, to have someone open up and trust you for the first time, and then for you to sit there and be like, all right, now I'm gonna make them feel stupid for it, or I'm gonna throw this back at them, or take advantage of that. Like, that is fucked up, and that does a lot of damage, and that's why we have so many broken ass men right now. Honestly, I'm gonna put this on y'all for a little bit, just for a little bit, not 100%, not entirely. Don't come at me, oh, you hate women. No, all right, but let's take some accountability. All right, not me, I don't be doing that shit, but you know, like, as a collective, can we take some accountability for that? And again, I know that's not all women, this is just very general statements, or vice versa. Maybe there are the men that were raised, you know, like that, really in tune, and can manipulate women who were raised not to be, you know, in tune with their emotions, because there's a lot of women out there who also were raised to be tough and don't feel, conceal, you know, and then end up having a lot of emotional constipation, basically, and then they're just not able to communicate it, and basically what I just said, and vice versa. Okay, that is such a huge thing. We, I think, as a generation, like men and women, I think we just find it hard to be vulnerable with ourselves, first of all, and then with other people. And if you can't get that emotional vulnerability with yourself and be real with yourself and tell yourself how you're feeling, how can you communicate that with other people? How can you expect them to read your feelings for you? You know what I mean? That is a big thing. That is a big and major important factor in a healthy relationship and in yourself. So that is one thing that genuinely 100% needs to be fixed and can be worked on. So in conclusion, figure out your issues. Figure out if they are the ones that you can work with in a relationship or not. If you can, that's great, but make sure you're, like, it really actually can, and you're not just saying that because you're lonely, because, you know, I really do be like that, and I definitely get it, but again, setting yourself up for failure. And if they're not, just work on them, you know? Whether it's trust issues or your communication issues or whatever it is, do yourself the favor and fix it, not only for the romantic relationships, but for every other relationship that you have in your life, because chances are it's probably bleeding out there too. Platonic stuff, family, whatever. Fix those there, and then you can regroup and meet up with someone, and you can, you know, have the fairy tale love that you want, okay? But if you have those issues that are preventing you from getting that, that's probably why, and you should address those first. So the next thing I would say is standards overall just seem to be very low to non-existent, I should say. Kind of like what I've been saying with everything else, the kind of just wanting to jump into the relationship just for the aesthetic, or just to be able to say you're in one, or just for the companionship. I feel like people are just kind of just going for whatever. If you have standards and you have deal breakers, don't let that slide just because, well, this is probably the best I can get. Like, I've seen and heard a lot of people saying that, and I guess that's apparently like a, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like that's like a widespread idea with a lot of people just being like, well, I mean, the dating pool, this is what we have to work with, this is all we're gonna get, so I might as well stick with that. And that's the type of thinking that leads into other things too. And I have a really good example of this. I'm gonna say it later if I don't forget. But the kind of like mentality of, well, we have to settle for this because this is all we have to work with. If both men are sitting there thinking, girls suck right now, blah, blah, and then women are thinking, oh, guys suck, why don't we all just collectively, again, this I think comes from working on yourself as an individual first, but why don't we all collectively just decide we don't want to suck? And then we can be better for each other. I just don't know why we're settling. If you have standards, stick to them and respect them, because once you go like below your standards to meet someone, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna be satisfied. The relationship's gonna end within 2 or 3 business months. That's not a thing, but like it's not gonna be worth your time. It's not gonna go anywhere. And I guess maybe for the time being you had a companion, but were you stressed and ranting and complaining about them the whole entire time? Most likely. So was it worth it? Probably not. So to close it off, I'm gonna say one more thing that I'm pretty sure I've said in the past already in my other relationships video, like the unpopular ones, which I'm gonna link in here if you wanna go ahead and click on that. But yeah, I think we live in a generation where, I kind of also touched upon this earlier in this video as well, like with the whole cheating thing, but aside from cheating, just broader like toxicity in general, I think we're at a point where we're kind of, again, romanticizing it. So for example, I saw a post, right, and this girl was saying how her boyfriend told her sometimes he literally will start an argument with her just so she can get mad because like it's like a turn on for him or something. Or maybe he didn't say turn on. No, I think he did. I think like it's a turn on when she gets mad at him or something like that. And I'm like, yo, okay, so I don't know if it's just because I've never been in this type of situation, like angry at a person to like have the whole dramatic scene in the movie where it's like, I hate you more, I hate you the most, and then, you know, like get it going, whatever. But like, why would you okay, I don't know, if I'm missing out, I'm missing out, but I just feel like I would never like that because it just sounds very como se dice, crazy. Why would you purposely be saying disrespectful ass shit to me, or like really getting wrecked with me, pushing my buttons, triggering me on purpose because it's attractive to you? Now look at us, now we're having issues, and now I think you're like a literal evil person. But what, you thought it was hot? You thought it was, ooh, she's mad, spicy, like that don't make no sense. I don't know. That's one example, but I've heard a lot of people just say the stuff like it's just fun to anger their partner. Like it's just, I don't know, it's a game. It's literally being romanticized. That's what I'm trying to say. I cannot make this shit up. I wish I was, because it's so mind-boggling to me, genuinely. But like, can we just not? I don't know. Like honestly, with what I be seeing going around me, I'm like, is this really what I have to look forward to? Is this what it's gonna be like? Is this what love is? Like, I know it's not, but y'all be having me guessing and questioning and second thinking, because I'm like, bro, is love not peaceful? Like, obviously, again, no one's perfect. Everyone has things. People are gonna butt heads and this and that. You can argue, fight, disagree, whatever. You can, I don't care, like shit happens, you know, we're human. But I feel like some of y'all be more miserable than happy, or equally miserable, and I don't think you should be equally as miserable in your relationship as you should be happy in the, like, you shouldn't be miserable in a relationship at all, period. Okay, you can be bad at sometimes, you can have some bad moments, what I'm trying to say, but like it shouldn't be like, yeah, I really genuinely, I hate him but I love him, or like, yo, she really makes me want to die but I still love her. That's not, no you don't, no you don't, sorry to break it to you, but you do not, like, that's not love. That's some weird, again, obsession with just being in a relationship, or like feeling like you need to be with that person out of obligation or whatever personal reason there may be. But again, like I said, for the most part, what it looks like to me is that it's more of a, I just need a companion, which I understand that more and I sympathize with that more than the other option that it might be, which is the, well, everyone else is in a relationship, well, my friends are in a relationship, so I feel like I should also hop in one. I mean, hey, my friend's boyfriend pays for all her stuff, so I want a boyfriend too. Like, that's not right, that's weird. That's very strange. And just not beneficial. Again, you're probably setting yourself up for failure. It's kind of a waste of time, and I don't know how y'all do it, basically, is really what I'm trying to say, because it just couldn't be me. Not even on some like, oh, I'm better than you, or I know my self-worth more than you, but like, in a way it does come down to self-worth, though. I feel like if you really value yourself and you know you deserve better, you're not gonna accept some stuff. That's facts, but not to be in a condescending way like that. I really physically could, like, I'm like the second, but that's one of my issues too, though. I think I have low-key too high of standards sometimes, honestly. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm trying to work on that, and actually, like, I'm writing a list right now, like making a list of things that I think are absolute deal breakers and things that I don't like but I can tolerate, and then like stuff that I want, and I'm planning on doing all that stuff so I can really visualize and see in front of me what it is that I'm looking for in a person, because I don't want to have my time wasted. I just can't, like, I hate having my time wasted. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna be mad at not only the person but more at myself, because I knew I shouldn't have been in that situation, and I won't be able to go through that, you know, because I just I'm not doing it. I can't. Alright, so I'm sure there's definitely more stuff that I could have said. Probably more things that I'll think of as I'm editing this video tomorrow, but that's all for now. That's all I have. So if you like this, if you felt some of this, if you was like, oh, she's talking to me, or, you know, if you felt offended, don't, because that wasn't the goal of this. But also, if you feel offended, I can't stop you from feeling that way, but I mean, that's you. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, share it with some people, show it to someone else, send it to your boo if you feel like you need to break up with them or something, and you just want to be like, yo, this is kind of, she kind of hit that facts, I feel like there need to be some time apart. I don't know, whatever you want to do, send it, post it, share it with your grandma, I don't know, okay, if she's going through some shit, I don't know, your business. You know what it is. We keep it real out here. At the end of the day, this is always just my opinions and just my take on things, my feelings. I'm also, you know, like I said, I'm not in a relationship right now, so you can sit there and decide not to believe me. I don't care. I don't know. But hey, I feel like I'm saying some real stuff. I feel like I'm spitting some hot shit, but you might not think so. That's fine. But if you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Ew, I've never said that before, but like this video, comment what do you feel, what did you agree with, what do you disagree with, and share this bad boy. Ew, I'm being mad cringy right now. You know why? It's because I haven't recorded in a while, and I'm sorry about that. And I will be recording way more often. It's summer, so you know I'm about to be back on that schedule I was on last summer when I started this, and I was posting literally like 2 videos a week. Hopefully I can do that. If not, I at least 1 video a week. I'm really trying to do more though. More content coming soon. Stay with it, rock with me. You know, you're in for a good time. I have like a plethora of ideas, but I just need to do them. So you know, if you ride with me, you'll see that, and you'll get to be one of the first people that was here for it. And you know, you're gonna want to be able to say that. You're gonna be like, yo, I was subscribed to Rochelle G like freaking when she first started. So yeah, all right, I'm done talking. Thank you for watching. Bye. Love you. All right. Yup. Oh shit.